I thought I had the perfect marriage with Isabella. 5 years of love, trust, and shared dreams. But what happens when the woman you love betrays you with a pastor, smirks as she reveals a pregnancy that isn't yours, and demands your money? How do you fight back when the truth feels like a knife in your heart? This is my story of betrayal, revenge, and taking back control. Are you ready to hear how it all unfolded? Welcome to Addy Story, where we share real-life stories that touch the heart and inspire the soul. Subscribe now to join our community, relax, and dive into the stories we have for you. Enjoy. My wife betrayed me with a pastor, smirking as she revealed her pregnancy. "It's not yours," she said, then demanded money. I stayed silent, but one decisive action shattered everything. For 5 years, I believed my marriage to Isabella was strong and fulfilling. We crossed paths in college. She was stunning and genuinely intrigued by my dreams, not just seeking a party guy. I was hustling for my business degree while she immersed herself in education. Our connection sparked instantly. After graduation, I dove headfirst into launching my own consulting business. The first few years were pure agony. 80-hour weeks, constant worry over rent, the whole nightmare. Isabella was my rock. She'd show up with energy drinks at 2 a.m. while I coded, offering pep talks when clients vanished. Total girlfriend of the year vibes. She offered to pause her teaching career, ready to stand by me as I chased my dreams. I believed it was the ultimate act of selflessness. I should have noticed that red flag glaring at me all along. When my business began to thrive, we found ourselves in a beautiful home, nestled in a wonderful neighborhood in Asheville, North Carolina. Isabella plunged into the local church, consumed by her fervor. She launched women's groups, orchestrated charity events, filled her Instagram with Bible quotes, and fervently championed family values and the sanctity of marriage. Yet, by year 5, an unsettling shift began to loom. It began with the tiniest of details. She ceased her inquiries about my day. Conversations that once flowed effortlessly now felt rehearsed, as if she were merely ticking off boxes, not truly listening. I'd ask, "How was Bible study?" Simple, yet loaded with meaning. "Who arrived?" Her replies were sharp and fleeting, as if she couldn't wait to shift the conversation away. What truly shocked me was her sudden, unsettling fascination with our money, especially my own. She had been satisfied with the credit cards, never probing into the business. In an instant, she craved precise figures. "What was our profit last quarter?" she'd suddenly ask. "What's the current worth of the business? Are there hidden assets I'm unaware of?" I initially believed she was simply showing interest, seeking to engage more deeply. Suddenly, I saw her snapping photos of the financial statements I had carelessly left out. I caught her rifling through my office files one night, believing I was sound asleep. She said she was just organizing, but I saw her secretly scanning documents with her phone. The tension thickened, palpable and electric, as each day slipped by. I began to see changes in her routine. Her routine twisted, late nights that felt off, weekend getaways that made no sense. She stepped out in one outfit, returned in another, dismissing it with a nonchalant, "Oh, I spilled something." One night, I spoke of our lost moments, how she felt like a stranger now. Her eyes flicked upward, a silent storm brewing within. "You're imagining things," she said, her voice devoid of warmth. Her gaze was elsewhere as the words slipped from her lips. In an instant, she became fiercely protective of her phone. She bought new clothes, daring and alluring, yet I never witnessed her in them. She returned with tales that twisted reality, speaking of restaurants and cities we never set foot in, clutching receipts for a single hotel room while insisting 4 women had gone. I refused to accept it. I wondered if my mind was playing tricks on me from the endless grind. That night, she stumbled in, hair tousled, makeup a chaotic blur. A strange, sharp scent lingered around her, a cologne that wasn't mine. I inquired lightly, "Long night?" She averted her gaze, heels flying off with a sharp thud. Bible study went long. We shared a meal, the air thick with unspoken words. It's a familiar feeling. I had no idea it would change like this. Bible study used to wrap up by 8, but now she waltzed in after midnight as if it were just another day. "It's as if someone doused you in cologne," I remarked, eyes locked on her response. In that moment, her posture shifted dramatically. Innocent, yet on guard. She scoffed, arms crossed, defiance radiating from her. "Are you really focused now? If you spent less time at the office, you might actually see what's happening in my life." That was no answer. It was a diversion. It fell perfectly into place, shifting all the blame onto me. I could have fought, but I held back, knowing the inevitable outcome all too well. If I pointed a finger, she'd break down, twisting it into my paranoia, my neglect. I refused to let her twist the story that way. I figured it out. I began scrutinizing credit card statements, tracing her whereabouts through the unlocked iPad's history. Here's a tip. Women rarely log out of their accounts. Every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon, without fail, she was at that apartment complex across town in Greenville, South Carolina, for 2 to 3 hours. On a Thursday, I slipped away from work, parked across from the complex, and waited, heart racing. At 2 p.m., Isabella arrived, and moments later, a guy parked beside her. A towering figure, the quintessential gym bro, adorned with a tribal tattoo on his arm. So predictable. I snapped shots of them, all over each other, cozy in my car, seething inside. I saw my wife, the center of my universe, enter another man's apartment, exuding the same flirtatious spark she once shared with me. My mind screamed to charge up there and shatter the door, yet I held myself back. Rage is a roar, but revenge whispers. 2 hours later, she emerged. I snapped more photos, capturing their kiss, a moment that felt infinite. In that moment, a switch flipped inside me, silencing all doubts. The woman I adored was gone. His name was Ian. I discovered everything in her texts while she was in the shower that night. He served at her church, a youth pastor, or something similar. The irony cut deep. I held back from confronting her, collecting evidence instead. Screenshots of texts, photos of their encounters, hotel receipts from her purse, even recordings. A phone call where she revealed to Ian that she would soon leave me, and they could finally be together. The deepest pain wasn't merely the betrayal. It was realizing the extent of her scheming against me. Her words with Ian twisted in my stomach, a wave of nausea crashing over me. This was no mere whim. She had plotted every detail for months. I'm poised, heart racing, while he remains oblivious, lost in his work. Once I file, I will demand alimony. He'll be blindsided. She wasn't merely leaving. She was orchestrating my downfall, sharing laughter with her boyfriend as they plotted her escape, ensuring her comfort while I was left in despair. That's when I realized she was never truly leaving. I ensured she walked away, empty-handed. I met my business accountant late, relaxed, but charged with urgency. I mentioned a need for change, a shift in the air. In the weeks that followed, I took bold financial steps, prepaying my office lease for a year, rapidly reducing business loans, and adjusting my salary accordingly. Money remained within the company, not as personal income, fueling investments in essential equipment, things I would need eventually, though not immediately. It appeared straightforward, just managing cash flow. But beneath the surface, it masked a troubling reality that painted me as far less liquid than I truly was. I opened a new personal account at another bank, transferring small amounts bit by bit, just a little, enough to create a barrier she couldn't reach. All was clear, every detail recorded. I wasn't hoarding cash. I was just ensuring she didn't take more than her fair share. Suddenly, she surprised me with an unexpected kindness. On an ordinary Tuesday, she chose to ignite her own chaos. I walked in from work, and there she was, perched on the couch, wearing that strange, smug expression. "Gideon," she said, her voice dripping with false sweetness, "we need to talk." I sensed the storm approaching, yet I feigned ignorance. "Hey there, I'm expecting." Months apart, and unless she was miraculously pregnant, this couldn't be mine. Before I could speak, she plunged the blade deep. "Yet it belongs to someone else. I've found someone new. I'm done. I want a divorce." She delivered the words with the ease of placing a simple order, devoid of remorse or doubt. 6 years together, and she discarded it as if it were nothing more than trash. Rage simmered beneath my skin. My hands clenched tight at my sides. Every fiber of my being urged me to hurl that folder at her, to expose her for what she truly was, right in that moment. And then it struck me. This was everything. She was oblivious, unaware that I was already in the shadows, observing, recording, biding my time. She believed she held the reins, that she was the one pulling the plug. A slow smirk crept across my face. Understood. It shattered her composure. She anticipated my outburst, my pleas, my questions, yet I remained still, composed and unwavering. She committed fully. "You'll still owe me alimony, just so you know. I sacrificed everything for you. Now you must repay that debt." Our gazes collided. "Isabella, did you honestly believe I was unaware of Ian?" Her face went pale. A laugh escaped me. "Tuesdays and Thursdays, is that it? 2 to 3 hours. Same complex, same spot in Greenville. Time stands still. You didn't even attempt to change it. You honestly believed I was that naive?" She froze, her jaw clenched tight. I have no idea what you mean." "Seriously?" I leaned back, arms stretched along the couch, savoring a fleeting moment of stillness. "So, Bible study went long, did it? That sounds like a wild lesson plan, needing lingerie in a hotel room." "And Ian," I pressed on, "what a true champion you chose. You're a youth pastor, I see." Imagine the shock of his congregation if they discovered he had an affair with a married woman while championing family values. She was in full-blown panic. She straightened, her eyes racing, desperate for a way out. "How long were you planning to toy with my heart, Isabella?" I inquired, head tilted, curiosity burning within. "You and your little boy toy were poised, waiting for the perfect moment, weren't you? Were you just using me before you disappeared with him?" "What did you just say?" "He'll be blindsided." Her mouth moved in desperate gasps, a silent plea for breath. I held her down, refusing to let her breathe again. I rose. "Listen closely. You won't leave this as the victor. You won't take anything from me without my permission." She fought to regain her composure, hiding her terror behind a facade of false bravado. "It's the law, Gideon. Resist as you may, defeat is inevitable. I flashed her the most self-satisfied smile I've ever mustered. If you say so, I replied, my voice steady. She believed she was delivering the final blow, but in truth, she freed me from the struggle. All I needed was a smile, letting her think she held the reins. All the while, I was 5 steps ahead. The coming weeks felt surreal. Isabella left in a heartbeat, rushing straight into Ian's arms. She took the plunge, ending it all, unable to bridge the chasm between them. Complex words, because I craved the freedom to explore with other men, guilt-free. I faced a room full of lawyers. The first 3 made it clear. I was doomed. No-fault divorce state was their mantra, echoing through the silence. It seems my wife's affair with the youth pastor and her pregnancy didn't matter at all in court. I searched relentlessly until I discovered this attorney, Henry, who spoke the harsh truth without pretense. Listen, I won't sugarcoat it, he said. You'll likely need to give her something, but we'll do our best to limit the fallout. Henry's eyebrow shot up as I revealed my financial statements. He gave me a look, hinting at the curious timing of these business expenses and restructuring. He said nothing further, bound by law, yet his eyes revealed he knew my secret. This could slightly lessen the alimony burden, but you'll still face hefty payments in this state. That's when everything changed. The courts may turn a blind eye to her betrayal, but her self-righteous church friends would not let it slide. I chose to stay calm during the divorce, letting her believe she was ahead, just enough space for her to trap herself. Court day felt like a dream, my best suit clinging to me like armor. Isabella entered, her high-powered lawyer at her side, dressed in a modest outfit that felt like a scene from Sister Wives. The performance was so contrived it bordered on absurdity. The judge's disinterest was palpable before we even began. Isabella's lawyer launched into a heart-wrenching tale of sacrifice. How she gave up her bright future to stand by me. How she held our home together while I chased my dreams, insisting she deserved recognition for her unwavering support in our marriage. When it was our moment, my lawyer laid bare the truth, her betrayal, the pregnancy, and her new life with Ian. Her lawyer rose, a storm brewing in the silence. Your Honor, he smirked, reminding us we're in a no-fault state, as if those 3 words could wipe away her past entirely. My client feels the weight of her failed marriage, yet the law stands unwavering. Marital misconduct holds no weight in deciding spousal support. The stark financial divide between these 2 parties is what truly matters. The casual dismissal of everything she'd sacrificed ignited a fire within me, a fierce urge to tear the courtroom to shreds. She betrayed me, deceived me, carried another man's child, and yet I was still supposed to compensate her for leaving. My lawyer fought hard, presenting every piece of evidence, highlighting that she wasn't merely ending a marriage. She was building a financial safety net while entwined with another. The judge sighed, a heavy pause hanging in the air as we struggled to find our words. As the moment arrived, he steadied himself and brought down the gavel. The court hears Mr. Harper's pain over his wife's betrayal, yet the law stands unwavering. Spousal misconduct holds no weight in alimony decisions. Isabella's smirk pierced through the crowd, electrifying the air between us. The judge declared, considering Mrs. Harper's financial reliance throughout the marriage and her present lack of employment, the court rules she deserves spousal support. Mr. Harper will pay $4,500 each month for 4 years, or until Mrs. Harper finds love again. $4,500 a month for 4 years to the woman who betrayed me, who was pregnant with another man's child. I felt utterly unhinged. But thankfully, my financial decisions bore fruit somewhat. The judge slashed the $6,000 monthly payment to $4,500, offering a glimmer of hope. It's not perfect, but it's something. The highlight? Isabella and her lawyer were oblivious to the hidden cash I still possessed, unaware that my business would rise again, stronger than ever, when this storm passed. As we exited the courtroom, Isabella wore a smug grin, her triumph palpable. "I told you," she whispered as we brushed by. "They should have accepted my terms from the start." She dared to call Ian right in front of me. "Darling, it's over." We triumphed, and she laughed, a sound bursting with youthful joy. "He must face the consequences. I warned you. The judge wouldn't give a damn about anything else." I remained silent, eyes fixed on her retreating figure, believing she had pulled off the ultimate con. The game had only begun. I sent the first alimony check on time. No complaints, no drama. Just a simple email. "Payment sent. Please confirm receipt." Isabella looked taken aback by my calmness, likely anticipating resentment, a clash, a chance to strike back. I became the ideal ex-husband, polite, timely with payments, distant, yet not unkind. Unaware of the storm approaching, she stood on the edge of fate. Isabella was more than a member of Grace Covenant Church in Asheville. She was their shining example. She guided the women's ministry, orchestrated marriage retreats, and spoke passionately on stage about God's vision for sacred unions. Her father served as a deacon, while her mother led the Sunday school. The family projected an ideal Christian facade, but I sensed they'd betray her the moment her truth emerged. I gathered it all: the DNA test results, time-stamped photos of her with Ian, explicit text screenshots, hotel receipts, even a recording of her ridiculing her church friends for their uptight ways. That one was especially tantalizing. I carefully arranged everything in a sleek folder, including a cover letter that radiated politeness and formality. "Dear elders of Grace Covenant Church, it pains me to raise this, but as a fellow believer, I must speak up. My ex-wife, Isabella Harper, a leader in your ministries, is acting in ways that clash with your church's values. I've gathered proof of her betrayal that started while we were married, leading to a pregnancy that isn't mine, as confirmed by DNA tests. Isabella now shares her life with him, all while receiving significant alimony from me. I speak not from malice, but from a deep concern for the integrity of your ministry. With utmost respect, Gideon Harper." I left the package in the quiet of early Sunday morning, then returned home, heart racing as I braced for the storm's arrival. The Sunday after I left my little care package at the church, my phone erupted with notifications. Messages from our shared church friends. "What have you done?" Pastor summoned an urgent elder meeting right before the service. Isabella is unraveling. I switched off my phone and drifted back into slumber. It was incredible, no doubt about it. That afternoon, Isabella's voicemail pierced through the silence. Her screams pierced through the silence, forcing me to pull the phone away from my ear. "How could you betray me like this? You're nothing but trash. They expelled me from the women's ministry. My dad avoids my gaze entirely. You've shattered it all. I erased it, no call to follow. Negativity has no place in my world. Do you understand?" Messages poured in all week, each one steeped in urgency and despair. Her church friends vanished without a trace. Her parents knelt in silence, hearts heavy, seeking guidance in the stillness. We're deeply let down by your actions. The Christian school in Hendersonville, North Carolina, where she volunteered, turned her away, leaving her heart heavy. Even Ian felt the chill of doubt creeping in. He never expected this chaos. He believed he had secured a stunning wife and a reliable alimony payment. Instead, he found a social outcast, pregnant and burdened with a heavy past. By Friday, she was gone, cast out from his life. Guess true love was just a fantasy, right? A week after I revealed the truth, Isabella faced the church elders in a tense disciplinary hearing. She called, tears streaming, pleading for me to say it was all a mistake. Gideon, I beg you. They will expose my punishment to everyone. Can you grasp the weight of that? The whole congregation will hear it announced. All will be revealed. They know, Isabella. That's the essence of church gossip. My dad could lose everything because of this. For 3 generations, my family has called Grace Covenant home. You should have considered the consequences before getting involved with the youth pastor. She paused, her voice barely a whisper. He's not talking to me anymore. Who's your father? No, Ian. Please, just stop. He claimed it was too much drama, insisting I deceived him about the divorce being straightforward. Laughter escaped me, unbidden. Your soulmate vanished the moment challenges arose? Unbelievable. I'm lost, Gideon. My parents refuse to let me stay with them. No one answers. Silence echoes. I'm alone. That's your struggle to bear. Can I return home? Only until I find my way? The sheer audacity of her actions. This place no longer belongs to you, Isabella. You lost that the moment you chose betrayal. She wept, each sob a raw, piercing echo of her pain. What should I do now? Book a room. Alimony's on its way. Make it work. And just like that, I ended the call. Chilling. Perhaps. After what she did, I felt nothing left to give. The church hearing unfolded Wednesday night. By Thursday morning, the news had swept through the community like wildfire. Isabella stood alone, branded an adulteress, stripped of her church roles. The pastor delivered a powerful sermon on marriage's sanctity and sin's dire consequences. His words, piercing through the air, unmistakably aimed at Isabella without ever uttering her name. Her parents stepped away from their roles in the church. Her sister delayed the wedding, meant to unfold at Grace Covenant. The family was trapped in a silent exile. What about Ian? He had asked to move to another church in Raleigh, abandoning Isabella, pregnant and isolated. I stood there, a silent observer, untouched and unmoved. The community she cherished had carried the weight for me. Small religious communities weave into the fabric of life, binding everything together. Isabella's church collapse unleashed a chain reaction I could never have anticipated. First, the private Christian school in Hendersonville, where she worked part-time, abruptly faced budget cuts, and her position vanished. The principal's gaze faltered as he delivered the news. Then her volunteer opportunities began to vanish. The Crisis Pregnancy Center deemed her circumstances unfit for guiding young women. The charity she dedicated herself to announced a major overhaul of their volunteer program. Piece by piece, her identity vanished, while I dutifully sent that alimony check each month, without fail. 3 weeks after the church scandal erupted, I received a text. Our old neighbor, Isabella, is living in her car in the Walmart parking lot in Boone, North Carolina. I stayed silent, but later that night, I passed by. There it was, her Honda, lurking in the shadows of the lot. Her silhouette flickered in the driver's seat, bathed in the glow of her phone screen. She reached out to me once more the following day. "I lost my job," she said, voice empty. No tears this time, just a deep, aching void. "It's tough. 5 months until the baby arrives, and no one will give me a chance." My parents remained silent, their words lost to me. I remained silent. She finally confessed, "I've been sleeping in my car. I'm trapped. Alimony barely covers my rent, let alone a car payment. That feels like a misstep in financial strategy." She gasped, breath hitching. "Is this truly what you desired? To witness my utter ruin?" I paused, the weight of the moment crashing down. "Do you realize?" "Absolutely. I was a fool. I messed up. I never wanted to cause you pain. I severed the connection. I couldn't care less." She gasped, tears spilling over. I'm so sorry." A smirk curled on my lips. "Wishing you strength as you embark on this new journey." In that moment, I chose to reveal my last move. "This ends now, my way." I said it casually, but my heart raced. I might just have a solution that could change everything for us. "What solution?" Isabella asked, her eyes wide with urgency. Her voice trembled with raw desperation. "I'm weary of these monthly checks," I said, my tone light. "Yet my business is growing, considering an office in Singapore, contemplating a move there soon. Why should I care? International alimony enforcement is a tangled web. I've consulted a new lawyer who believes we may have a chance to challenge the settlement through some innovative legal interpretations." It was absurd, yet Isabella remained oblivious, trapped in her own uncertainty, unable to challenge my words. "What do you mean?" Her voice trembled with urgency. "I want to offer you a single payment to settle everything now, instead of dragging this out with monthly alimony for the next 4 years. She paused, lost in thought. "How much?" she finally asked, her voice trembling. $90,000 in hand, no taxes. Sign this, and you're free. The money is yours now." Isabella had no idea I could handle that payment without a second thought. The choices I made protected my finances, and my business was rising again. She and her lawyer missed so much of what I possessed. To her, $90,000 felt like salvation, yet it was barely a fraction of my total obligation, a staggering concession. To a woman living in her car, pregnant and broke, it must have felt like hitting the jackpot. I don't know," she whispered, her voice trembling. "My lawyer said." "Your lawyer isn't sleeping in a Walmart parking lot." I interrupted. "This offer expires in 24 hours. Then I begin the fight against the alimony ruling, leaving you with nothing as we clash in court for the next year or two." Silence deepens. The wheels in her mind spun, a storm brewing beneath her calm exterior. "Can I ponder this for a moment?" "You've got until this time tomorrow. After that, I'm moving on with the challenge." I ended the call, silence swallowing the moment. 2 hours later, her call pierced the silence. "I'll take it," she whispered. "Wise decision. The paperwork will be ready by morning. Let's meet at my lawyer's office in Charlotte at 9 a.m. "Gideon?" Her voice barely a whisper. "Thank you." I nearly burst into laughter. "Save your gratitude, Isabella. This is not mercy, it's a transaction." The following morning, she arrived at the lawyer's office, a shadow of herself, dark circles beneath her eyes, unkempt hair, and the same clothes I had seen through the car window. My lawyer presented the paperwork, a final release from all future alimony obligations for a single payment. The cashier's check was ready, waiting for the moment to change everything. Isabella signed without a second glance at the documents. As my lawyer slid the check across the table, her hands shook violently when she grasped it. "Is that really all there is?" she inquired. "Is it over?" I nodded, the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air. Utterly finished. Never contact me again. Her eyes flickered with unspoken words, but she merely nodded and left. With the door's final thud, my lawyer's disappointment was palpable. Most guys in your shoes would have walked away, offering nothing. I told him I'd pay 90 grand to escape her for good, and I was dead serious. The monthly payment stung, a relentless echo of her betrayal. Finally, I was untethered, liberated to forge my own path without her looming presence. I knew Isabella, and that changed everything. She'd squander that money in half a year, leaving her with emptiness. Nothing to fall back on. No support. No future. In the shadows, I'd forge my empire, savoring every moment, never glancing back. 6 months later, I spotted her at a gas station in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It was unexpected, a twist of fate that caught me off guard. She appeared worn, still carrying life, or perhaps expecting once more. I didn't ask, didn't care, just drove that beat-up old Civic, a far cry from the nice car she once had in our marriage. She caught sight of me at the pump with my new BMW, and time seemed to stop, her eyes wide with shock. I nodded at her, a mere gesture of civility. She approached slowly, tension hung in the air. Then she whispered, "How are you?" I shrugged, the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air. Business thrives. Life is a fleeting spark of joy. She nodded, her gaze fixed on the ground. That's great." Another heavy pause hangs in the air. "The money's vanished," she finally whispered. I cleared my debt. Then the rest vanished into rent and food. I gazed at her. "Not my concern. I understand. I can't explain why I'm sharing this with you. I just finished pumping gas. Wishing you all the best." I turned to leave, but her voice stopped me. "I'm sorry, Gideon. For it all, I truly am." I stared at her, time suspended between us. Did it bring you joy to witness her in this state? Honestly, it fell short of my expectations. Yet, I felt no sympathy for her at all. "It's over, Isabella. You missed your chance." I climbed into my car and sped off, heart racing. It's been an eternity since I last laid eyes on her. Life has been treating me kindly. I encountered an extraordinary woman. She's remarkable, leads her own marketing agency, puts in the effort, enjoys life, and is straightforward without any pretense. 3 months ago, we took the plunge and moved in together. No hurry to walk down the aisle again. Once hurt, forever cautious. But I could truly envision it unfolding with her one day. She's everything. I wanted to keep my distance from Isabella, but in a small town, secrets have a way of slipping through the cracks. We still share some connections who sometimes send me whispers of news. That $90,000 I handed over to her vanished in just 4 months. She paid off hidden credit card debt, secured a cheap apartment, and then squandered the rest, clinging to a lifestyle that no longer fit her reality. Timeless Isabella. Always struggled with budgeting. She gave birth, a child. Ian is bound by law to pay child support, yet whispers of his neglect echo. Always late, always absent. He moved to Columbus, Ohio, as I said, and has all but vanished from the child's life. It seems his passion for youth ministry fell short at home. Unbelievable. Isabella's attempt to revive her teaching career crumbled under the weight of her past. No Christian school in Asheville would accept her, and public schools dismissed her for lacking recent experience. Last I heard, she's stuck at a call center in Gastonia, North Carolina, scraping by on a meager paycheck. Her family's fate was the true reckoning. After 8 long months of silence, her parents finally forgave her, but the air between them remains thick with tension. They assist with the baby now and then, but their remarks about bad decisions and facing the fallout never cease. Her sister stays away, fear gripping her that Isabella's tarnished name could stain her own place in the church. Isabella's attempt to reconnect with the church community shattered her hopes. She can join the services, but leadership is forever out of reach. She lingers in the shadows, slipping away the moment the service concludes. Gone are the women's ministry, the marriage retreats, the social status, the deepest twist of fate. A mutual friend revealed she regrets her choices, wishing she had fought for her marriage. It's over. I'm thriving like never before. Business is thriving. My relationship is strong, and I'm finally pursuing passions I once set aside. I earned my pilot's license, embraced mountain biking, and began my journey with the guitar. Sometimes, the darkest moments forge the brightest paths ahead. Embrace the flames of change, sever ties, and never glance back. There are more important things demanding my attention. And one last thing for those facing a similar struggle: capture every moment. Capture every moment. Preserve the truth. Gather proof. Information is power. In no-fault divorce states, it may not sway the court, but you never know when that power will be crucial.